This is Lenny Reese. It's Sunday, October 19th, 2008 at the Ina Levine Jewish Community Campus in Scottsdale. Today we're talking to Beth Ames Swartz, whose career spans 50 years, including a 2002 retrospective at Phoenix Art Museum, as well as receiving the highest award in the state of Arizona, the Governor's Award for an Artist. Beth enjoys other professional achievements that include a solo exhibition at New York's Jewish Museum, over 80 additional one-person museum and gallery shows, as well as 2 books and many catalogs, articles, and videos documenting her accomplishments. We're going to ask Beth to tell us a bit about the story of when she arrived in Arizona. Beth.
Hi, in 1979, Melvin J. Swartz, who was my very new husband, had courted me with Arizona Highways under his arm. And it was a very cold winter in New York, so I said, okay. And we drove, actually we flew here and bought a little Volkswagen. And I was an artist, and he knew that's what I wanted to do. And I hated Arizona. It was so deserty and so harsh. And I began to paint and went to the various parks in Saguaro Lake, and I did a lot of watercolors because I had been trained from my master's degree as a watercolorist. And then, luckily, in the early 70s, we went down the Colorado River in a raft, and everything changed. I bonded with the earth because there's no separation between you and the earth. And I began to love Arizona. I woke up with the sun and I went to sleep when it set. And my painting began to change. And so my work through 50 years now has been a lot about this whole idea of life, death, and rebirth, and the whole idea of compassion and being good to each other. You know, the concept of tikkun olam, of the healing of the world. Well, I feel that somehow the work all through the years, because I've done very large projects, I'd love to tell you about a few, and each one has really delved very deeply into a different system, either Jewish mysticism or the 7 chakra system, or the Indian systems they also have their own life, death, rebirth, or Zen Buddhism. But all these different philosophies or religions or cultures teach the same thing as our religion, that all life is sacred, and that's what my work is about.
As a Jewish artist here in the Phoenix community, tell us a bit about the arts community and your connection to it locally.
Well, I've always been very generous with my work. Any Jewish organization that has ever asked me, I've been able to give them something, and I've talked to various people, you know, Brandeis, and I've had, I would say, the essence of my relationship with the Jewish community is that I'm Jewish, and I wanted my work to speak about that. And I did a big project, I would say it was early 90s, and I wanted to combine the idea of Kabbalah, and I wanted to show how we're connected not only to each other, but to the larger universe. And the book that the Phoenix Museum did is called Reminders of Invisible Light, because a lot of times I include poetry in the work. And this round painting that is from a series called States of Change has the 10 spheres of energy in the Kabbalistic tree of life that keeps coming back into my work. And then I did a whole series called The States of Change, with the idea that we must change and grow to develop. So I have these 10 spheres that deal with all kinds of emotions and qualities like understanding, wisdom, And actually, there was an interesting one in the sixth one called Tifereth, and that means balance, that we have to balance the feminine and the masculine. And so the canvas itself is round, and I have a figure, and then the figure has the 10 spheres embedded in it. And when I did a moving point of balance, which was a 10-year project, I wanted to go deeper. I'd seen the Rothko Chapel, and I wanted to go deeper. And a museum in Canada gave me a large grant to do this show. My projects take, you know me, take 5 to 10 years. And now I'm 72, and so I do shorter projects. But I made this environment where I wanted people to walk into the environment and get bathed in light, and then go through each of these 7 energy centers. In the Kabbalah, we have 10 energy centers. In the chakra system, we have 7. But both systems, it doesn't matter what system I've studied, they all have an abyss. They all have, in the Kabbalah, we have Death, which is the abyss. And we can't really move to the next level of our, I would say, evolution or consciousness until we are able to go through the vicissitudes of life.
Beth, you have contributed so much to the artistic level in Arizona, and we're proud that you're a member of the Jewish community, so thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you, Lenny. I guess if there was one thing I'd like to say to the world, it would be, please, let's treat each other better, and let's have love not only for our families, but for each other, and compassion for the world.